Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great privilege to be here with Dana Hunter and Gary Knapp and each and every one of you every Saturday morning or whenever you're listening or watching this recording. We love joining with you, linking arms and supporting Manatech Australasia and being the best it absolutely can be, because people need what we have on all levels. Today we have James Hannan. Just give you a little bit about his background before I go off camera. James Hannan likes to say he's the story that no teacher wants to tell their students about. He went from getting the lowest grade in his high school year to becoming a national sales manager of a small public company. His passion for understanding the sales process and what makes a person say yes to buying a product fueled his success, because he could never then understand why people would say no. If he did, he knew that he had made a mistake and mistakes could be fixed. But it was this knowledge of people's behaviors that warned him that changes were coming for the company that he worked for. He needed to start a new challenge and see if he could take his passion for people and processes and do something for himself. At first, James said no to building a Manatech business 3 times, but then one day, his upline, Rod Gilchrist, helped him see what was possible. Although James wasn't an overnight success, he was able to build a large international business. Starting over 21 years ago, his passion for Manatech is more today than it has ever been. His dream is to help all Manatechers achieve their dreams. James is a master in assisting skill development, and you need to come here ready to implement his tips. Today, he's going to coach you to get into effective action. Some of you already are, but you can always lift that game, and how to guide your team to do the same. So, James, this is all about personal goal achievement, whatever anybody's doing. And thank you for being here as always.
My pleasure. And I know that I always scare Sharon and the team, because I'm always going from being kicked or punched or rolling around on the floor with someone in BJJ, and running from that to this presentation, because I run classes on a Saturday morning as well. So Sharon and the team, I'm sorry I always put that much, like, he has remembered. I do remember. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for allowing me to be here, Diana, and also that, Gary, for everything that you guys do. It is amazing. I think you guys are pillars within Manatech. You have created a foundation that has allowed everyone to build and grow from, and it's my honor to be here. Guys, yeah, I mean it. And anyway, so let's have a look. So it doesn't matter where you're at in your Manatech business. We're going to be, I'm going to share. First of all, I want to, something. I understand you. How do I understand you? Well, I understand you because I am you. You are me. I'm maybe a little bit further ahead on the journey with Manatech than most of you. But I understand what it's like to go through a journey sometimes and go, what the heck just happened there? Okay. Or, when you go through the journey, you go, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. Or everything's going great. Then someone says something, someone does something, or something happens and you go, well, that was out of left field. Who's ever had those kind of moments where you feel like, you're excited and you're moving forward, and then all of a sudden somebody kicks you in the guts, or something happens where your wind is taken out of you, the momentum that you were building, the excitement, the love, the passion you once felt is no longer. Have you ever felt that way? I'm going to put in the chat me, okay? Because I want you to know that is me as well. And I would love to say that for those of you that are getting started in business for yourself, maybe for the first time in business for yourself, in a real business, in a business that is, it's a real business. Like, oh my gosh, it doesn't get any realer than this. You're going to go through these amazing highs where you'll go to an event and you're going to feel 10 foot tall, bulletproof, and eating nails. You're going to feel amazing. But then there's many of the time when you're first getting started, or after you've gone through that, you also go to a valley, a time where you go, why did that person hurt me? Why did they say that? They're saying so many untruths. Why did the company do that? I don't understand. Why did my team member leave? Why didn't my upline do that thing? You know, all of that stuff, and it hurts, and you work through it. And I would love to say that working through some stuff can be done immediately. And I know if we were with Tony Robbins, he'd say, well, give yourself a state. How long are you going to stay in that state? But sometimes it's just time, you know, sometimes you just need time. So you've had the time. There you go, that's done now. It's like saying, okay, I want to grow, I want to build. Now, and for those of you that haven't been through a challenge, I want you to know that is awesome. I pray that you never do, but I have a feeling that you will. And when you do, I want you to remember these words. In my dojang, I say to my students, it is easy to get a black belt. Now, some of you might laugh at that. It is easy to get a black belt. It'll take, in my dojang, 7 to 10 years to get one, but it is easy to get one. It is hard to keep it. Let me say it again. It is easy to get a black belt. Now, some of you have seen, I think Naomi's seen what my black belt grading was like. It's not necessarily easy to obtain a belt, but I'm saying it's easy to get one. It is hard to keep one. Okay. And, you know, that's why, you know, I run 15 to 20 kilometers a week. I do hill sprints. I'm doing BJJ this morning for 2 hours. I run classes 10 hours a week, you know, so it's kind of a lot of exercise, right? So it's hard to keep one. And here's the reality of success. Sometimes getting to a level, sometimes achieving a little level, or sometimes getting momentum can be easy. You know, it can happen because all you're doing is applying energy and applying a decision and applying action for a moment. And while you're applying that action for a moment, you start to see momentum. And so it's like you start to get it. Here's the trick. It's hard to keep. Momentum, and a lot of people will tell you momentum, hard to get, easy to keep. No, momentum, easy to get, hard to keep. And let me explain. You see, when you start in perpetual motion, when you start in motion, your whole idea is to get perpetual motion, that motion that continues to move forward. But to get that motion that continues to move you forward, it takes a little bit of effort. It takes an effort to get that motion moving. But once it's moving, okay, and it's like, you're starting to get it, you're building on it, but then it's hard to keep. Because what happens, you start to get that momentum, and many of you, and myself included, have a thing called self-sabotage. Who knows self-sabotage well? If you know, if you have been a friend of self-sabotage, put me in the chat. I'm putting myself in there as well, okay? Self-sabotage comes in. And self-sabotage is an interesting thing. Self-sabotage is that, okay, everything's starting to happen. I'm starting to get results. Oh, but look, there's another shiny thing over there. Bubbles. I'm going to go, there's another story around bubbles. Okay, but you know, there's another shiny thing or another bit of trouble. Like I had this little girl in my dojang this week, and we were running a full day training day. And someone came over to me and they said, you know, what do we think about people dobbing? So I thought about that, and I thought, dobbing. We don't like dobbers. But she's dobbing on someone who did something wrong. Don't like dobbers. Why? Because a dobber is a busybody. A dobber is a person who isn't focused on their own stuff. So what they do is they get caught up in everybody else's stuff, right? And so I did on this big dissertation, pulled everyone together. There was 30 people, and said, okay, guys, look, respecting your training partners, which is one of the things we're all about, respecting our training partners. We want to look after our training partners, but sometimes our training partner gets hurt by somebody else. If our training partner doesn't care and doesn't want to say anything, do you need to say something? No, you don't. Just shut up. You don't need to. But if your training partner gets hurt and they should say something and they just need a little bit of support, then you go with them. But you don't dob, right? Because dobbing gets you into another area of problems, right? It just, what we're looking for is distraction, another shiny thing. So a shiny thing may not be the new phone. It may not be the microphone, okay? Might not even be my teddy bear, okay? My little teddy bear. Yes, I have a teddy bear. He sits right here. It was a gift from my daughter. So it sits right there. Okay, it may not be that next shiny thing, okay? But shiny thing sometimes is negativity. A shiny thing sometimes is grumbling about somebody else, grumbling about the company, grumbling about your family, grumbling about the goldfish, grumbling about Happy, my puppy dog. Okay, we're getting caught up in all that stuff. So we're now self-sabotaging. We're stopping that momentum from happening because we're finding something to complain about. We're either finding something to complain about or we're finding something else to do. All right, so you got two things there. One is you found something to complain about, or two, you found something else to do. Both of those things are called self-sabotage. Both of those things are, hello, Kellyanne. Both of those things are going to stop you from moving forward. Okay, so when that stuff starts to happen, we start to lose that momentum. Like I said, momentum easy to get. And some of you might think, no, that's hard. It's not. It's actually easy. You're just doing the thing you're supposed to do. You're doing the thing you're supposed to do by talking to people, connecting with people, building relationships, doing marketing and doing advertising, whatever it is you have to do, whether it's a market, whether it's online, whether it's doing an in-home presentation, whether it's doing a launch event. And he's happy. He's come to say hello. This is my little puppy dog. He's saying hello. So he agrees. You can't get distracted, buddy. Okay. So whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to understand that anything that steals that focus, okay, is a distraction, just like him now. You've got to go. I'm talking to people all over the world. The next part, though, I'm sorry, you've got to have a laugh, right? I hope you're laughing with me. He's over there grumbling at me now. So we've got that distraction, but momentum, easy to get because you're just going to do the things that you said you would do. That's it. That's why it's easy to get. But keeping that momentum is incredibly hard because you're going to fight yourself and you're going to fight the stuff that happens around you, not the people. You don't need to fight the people. Sometimes you feel like you do, but you don't. They're people. They're making mistakes. They're making judgment calls. They're doing their own thing. They're living life the best they can. So you don't need to fight the people, okay? But you will fight the situation. You will fight the circumstance that you're placed in. You will fight those things. So we're going to this is all about how do you get out of that distraction, okay? How do you get out of that can I share my screen, please, Sharon? Is that okay? So how do I fight that distraction of all of the stuff that's happening around me? Just let me know when I can share, Sharon.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't
you
share.
are co-host, but
It
for
won't let
some
me
reason.
share.
I don't know if sorry, James.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I can talk. I am a good talker. Okay, so let's have a look. I hope that's okay, guys. I hope you don't mind me talking. I'm going to take you through. If you let me know, Shaz, if you get it. So
Yeah.
what we want to do is we want to reawaken your dormant, unstoppable energy. And I want you to remember this. You have dormant, unstoppable energy. I want to say it again. You have dormant, unstoppable energy, and you don't need coffee to unlock it. Okay, so again, you have dormant, unstoppable energy, and you do not need coffee to unlock it. What is it? What is this dormant, unstoppable energy? What is it? Where does it come from? What is it? It's this fire that's burning inside of you. It's this decision that you have that you want to achieve and do something grand. It's the thing that when you make a choice to do something, you know that you're unstoppable. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to ask you a very, very simple question. Let me just check. No. Okay. And it goes like this. If I said to you, outside your front door, no, at the end of the street is $1 million. At the end of your street is $1 million. It's yours. Here's the key. Okay. Here's the ability. Here's what you're going to do. Okay. You have to get to executive director. Okay. You must get to executive director for you to be able to have this $1 million by the end of the year. Okay. I'm going to give you $1 million cash, tax-free, but you must get to executive director. Here's the catch. You don't have a year to get to executive director. You've got to get to executive director this week from a standing start. From a standing start, if you go from 0 to 6,000 points 1 week, you cannot buy all the product. They must come from all customers and your team. Who knows that they can do it? Who knows that they know that they could go and get that one, they'll go and get that 6,000 points. They'll go get those, however many customers they need. It's 60 people at 100 points, which is about $140 each. 60 orders at $140. You're going to get $1 million cash tax-free if you do it. Just type me into the chat. Just type me into the chat. If you truly unlock yourself, I said, I'm going to give you $1 million cash. Be honest here, guys. $1 million cash, tax-free. All you have to do is go and become an executive director, not in a year, not in a month, but you must do it within a week. That's right. You can all do it. Because here's the thing, right? I'll explain. Let me see if I can do this now. Ah, Shaz, you did it. You're a rock star.
I had to log in on a different computer, so.
Oh, well, thank you for working.
So I'm in twice. I'm gone again.
You're the best. Thank you for doing that. So here's the thing. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. The thing is, you've got to make the step worth it. You see, you have to choose. Is the step going to be worth it? The journey of a home business owner. Starting a home business can be daunting, but taking the first step is crucial. Most don't, not because they don't know how, but because they're unsure if it's worth it. You see, you made a decision and you know without any shadow of doubt that you, if you applied yourself and went out from a standing start from 0 points, could go get 6,000 points in the next week if I gave you $1 million. Why? Because you went, that's worth it. That's worth the pain. That's worth the frustration. That's worth the discomfort. That's worth all of that stuff. Okay, just to get to $1 million. It's the same in building a business. But how do you know if it's worth it? When you've tried it before. You don't know if you will succeed because you failed. You haven't got to executive director before. Or, you were in another company before. You've done something else before and you failed, or you've never been in business before. Or you could be at home binging on Netflix. There's good shows on Netflix. Let's face it. How do you know if it's worth it? Let's have a look at it. But here's the reality. You've tried it before. Do you really mean, and I mean really, did you really, and when it went to try, did you really give it everything? And when it went the direction that you didn't want it to go, did you fight for it? And I mean, did you really fight for it like there's $1 million on the line? Did you fight for it like your dreams are on the line? Or did you find that, maybe I wasn't meant to do it. And that became your excuse. Or maybe, you know, I've got other things to do. That became a valid excuse. You see, what I've found in my career of everything that I've done is I've had to come to a point of, is it worth it? I've got another, you know, I'm grading again. I'm going to have to fight 20 black belts. I'm going to have to do all this stuff. I have to go to myself, is it worth it? You've got to ask your question. Ask yourself the question, is it worth it? And if you made a decision that it is, because it is worth it, and you think, but I tried before and it failed. I tried before and I couldn't get it off the ground. I want to ask the question, did you really try? I mean, did you try so hard that you worked long hours, that you only gave yourself minimal sleep for 90 days to really drive your business? And I mean, really drive. So when you think about the business owners that are out there, and the ones that are successful, the ones that you know, and you think about them, you know, did you put in the effort that they did to start and launch their company and their businesses? And when it went the wrong way, did you really fight for it? Or did you just let life pass you by? Did you just let it go? Okay? Because you know that if you truly commit, you will succeed. So ask yourself that question. See, the other part of it is, the next part of it is you're on a journey. And you've been on a journey. And not all of the journey that you've been on, whether it's been with Manatech, business, corporate, whatever it is, has been good. Some of it's been downright terrible. You've been kicked and punched and scratched and bitten, elbowed, poked and prodded. You've had people say bad things about you. You even though you've got a good heart, you've had you've had some highs as well. You've achieved some great success. You've had status. You've had recognition. You've had money. You've had trips. So you've had some good and some bad. But how do you reignite the desire? How do you reignite the passion that you want this thing? Well, here's how you do it. You have to want what is at the end of your desire. But also you need to know that 99% of the reward is the journey. Let me say it again. You have to want what you want. You have to want what is at the end of your desire. Meaning, in Manatech, your desire might just be to get the presidential director. You just want an extra $4,000 or $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, whatever it is. Okay, and that's going to give you whatever it is, and that's for you is enough. For me, it's not enough. It needs to be more. But the thing of that is you need to know that 99% of the reward is the journey. It's who you're becoming. It's what you're learning. It's the relationships you make along the way. It's the struggle. The struggle is wonderful. The struggle is joyous. The struggle is ecstasy in itself. Because when you go through the struggle, or you look at the struggle and you go, bring it on. You see, when you look at the struggle and you go, why me? You are always a victim. When you look at the struggle and you go, why me? You are always the victim, and you're no one's victim. But when you look at the struggle and you change it and you go, bring it on, you better be good because I'm pretty good. And you want to take me on? Well, okay, good luck. See, there is a difference that happens inside of you when you take that posture. There's a difference that happens inside of you when you take and change a state from being the person that looks at the struggle as wrong and looks at the struggle as too hard, but instead you look at the struggle as a reward. You see, no one struggles for doing nothing. We all know the obese people who sit on the lounge eating potato chips, watching Netflix. There's no struggle there. Okay? There's no struggle, so there's no reward. The reward is getting obese, dying young, and looking out terrible. Okay? The struggle comes from doing the exercise, controlling your appetite, controlling the food intake, and doing the work. And in that is the reward. As your muscles grow, your skin changes, you lighten up and you become better. In your Manatech business, the reward is you start to get people around you that you love. I love my team. I love my team. You know, I love being on this journey with them. I love being on this call with Sharon and Diana and Gary. They are beautiful people, and I am honored to be on this journey with them. But I understand it's a journey, and it's who I'm becoming, and it's allowed me to build 2 other businesses worth over $1 million outside of Manatech, but still have my Manatech business and still build my Manatech business, because it's who you become in this journey. So 99% of the reward is the journey. What will it give you? Well, it gives you recognition. Will it give you status? Will it give you money? Will it give you connection? At the end of your journey, what will it give? Where will you become? Who will it be? See, so the next step for you, if moving out of a place of maybe procrastination, a place of not doing much, a place of apathy, the first step is decision. You have to decide that the reward is worth it, that the struggle is worth it. You have to decide that. You have to decide that upon the hill of Manatech, you're going to plant your flag. But on top of that hill is another hill, and that's you. That you're going to plant the flag in your heart that says, this is me, this is what I do, this is who I am. This isn't just something I do on the side, but this is part of me. This is it. You make the decision. Once you've made the decision, the next part is the focus. The focus of that I will do what I need to do to grow the thing that I said that I would grow. I will learn the skills that I need to learn, that I feel like that I need to learn. To just learn the ones you want to learn. You don't have to learn it all. You don't have to become an online guru. You don't have to become an advertising master. You don't have to become an in-home superstar. You get to choose the one that you want to be. For me, the thing I like the most is still belly to belly, face to face. The people I sign up are the ones I talk to. The people I bring on board are the ones I invite on board. I don't get many people online, even though I own a marketing agency. Most of my stuff happens in my building my business because I love to talk to people. You know, Naomi, I had to go to Sydney for a meeting this last week, and in the Uber driver, I'm prospecting the Uber drivers. I'm prospecting the waitress. I'm speaking to people. That's what I love to do. So I become focused. You become focused. The next part is you get a plan. What is the action that you are good at? Think about it. What is it that you're good at? Stop looking at what other people are good at. Stop looking at what other people do and start asking yourself, well, what am I good at? I'm good with people. I love people. I can have people over, and I can do what Poppy does and be the Greek mama who has Greek feasts, okay, where people love to come and get a feast. You know, I can do what James does and says to someone, let's have a cup of coffee, and I'll share what I do. See if it works for you. Because I don't drink coffee right now. I will be soon, but not at the moment. But I'll sit down with a person, have a cup of coffee, let them know that they can trust me. Whatever it is that you do it well and do it with everything you've got. The next part is action. You've got to take it into action. They're the 4 things. That's your step. Number 1 is you must choose and decide that it's worth it. That when you look at it and go, okay, if I got to executive director, what does that mean? Well, it means $1,000 a month or thereabouts. It means I've got a growing business. But if I got there, I know how I got there. So the next part of that is, do I think I can teach someone how to get there if I got there? Yes, you can. You can always teach the thing you've done. You can always teach the thing you're doing. Okay, you've just got to teach the thing you're doing. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, Winston Churchill. So remember that. You know, I got a black belt. It doesn't mean I stopped. I keep going to learn the next thing. I got to silver presidential. It doesn't mean I stopped. I kept going and got a presidential position. You know, so it's like you don't stop. I went through some failure. I know definitely what doesn't work. I can tell you that. Stopping doesn't work. Self-sabotage doesn't work. I know that. But it's the courage to continue that counts. So it's time to choose and to choose to continue your journey. It's truly worth it. It's time to choose that, this is what I do, that this is who I am, because I want to go on this journey. I want the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I want a better life. But more than that, I want to be the person that honors the commitment that I said I'd make. The set I make to my team, the set I make to my prospects, my family, the people around me. When I said I'm building this, this is what I do, then I'm going to honor that. Because remember the fact that you just said that if I gave you $1 million and all you have to do is go to executive director in a week, could you do it? And you said yes. Remember that. So remember when you looked, you would have looked deep inside when you thought that, before you answered that. You would have asked yourself deep inside, could I do that? And something would have stirred. That's the stirring that you need to move the mountain. That's the stirring that you need to not to move it, just to blast through it. Because the reality is that when you build this business, when you're truly giving it everything, you're not going around or over mountains, you're blasting through them. And it's an interesting journey. Okay, and it's a journey that's worth it. So Sharon, Gary, Diana, thank you for allowing me to be on here. Number one, is it worth it? Once you've decided that, it's those next 4 steps. You've got to decide it's worth it. Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, James. It's such a personal journey, isn't it? So I know that your wisdom today will have resonated for so many, and they'll be doing some inner pondering, or maybe they've made a decision. So much sorry for the technical. I've got my laptop here, and it's just none of the keys work all of a sudden. So anyway, it wouldn't let me unmute or change anything. So a good thing I had 2 computers, and I can't remember who Dennis said was next week. Dr. Nugent, or no, Vincent, he's going to do Men in Business for us. So it's a business opportunity. Great for you to have, if you got young men or young people that you think you'd like to introduce to Manatech, that would be the way to do it. So James, God bless you. Have a great Saturday. And everybody else, have a great weekend. See you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.